Hey everyone, it's Brandy and welcome back to my channel, Brandy Janae's Bookshelf. As you can probably tell from the title as well as the board behind me, today I'm here to do another deck of TBR for December. I went back and forth whether or not I wanted to actually do a deck of TBR for this month, but I decided that I do still really enjoy doing these videos and that I would just go ahead and do it, and I'm going to keep it as simple as possible, and if anything becomes too difficult I might decide to change the way I do things. Just for this month, we'll see, and I'll let you know depending on how things go for this round. So normally at this point I would be doing a recap of everything that was on my TBR for last month and whether or not I read anything, but I had decided that I was not going to take any punishments for December since it was the last month in the year. I am really trying to focus in on getting the last bit of reading done, you know, finishing up those last few books that I was trying to finish or set out as a goal to finish at the beginning of the year that I haven't gotten around to yet, and then anything else I may want to read. I'm hoping that the majority of December I will be able to mood read, I guess. I would like to have a few books here and there that I had set out at the beginning of the month, which is why I decided to still stick with Deck of TBR, but I won't be super strict on myself again in December because I don't know how I'm going to be feeling, especially since I am working for most of the holidays this year. So I don't want to have a whole lot of pressure on myself. That being said, I don't know what the game has in store for me this month. So if something crazy happens, because I know that I do have a couple of challenges that I added in the last few months currently on the board. So if I land on one of those or a couple of them, because I know one I have on there, I think I almost got it last month, which was like to double the amount of pulls for the month, and I know that that's still on the board. So if I end up with something like that, then obviously I'm gonna try my best to complete that, but if I don't, I won't be super hard on myself. I will probably start completely fresh in January of next year, but we'll see how that goes. So out of the 10 books that I ended up with by the end of Deck of TBR for last month, I only finished 3 of those. So I would have taken a lot of punishments for this month, but like I said, I'm not taking any because I don't know how the month is going to go. Plus, on top of that, not only am I trying to like finish up last minute things, I have a couple books that I completely forgot were coming out that I would like to finish. Also, maybe like kind of read-alongs, or not read-along, readathons that are happening. One in particular that I'm thinking about that I would like to participate in, which kind of requires a lot of reading as well. So kind of all over the place. December is usually the craziest month because I'm like, how much can I really fit in by the end of the month? And I am testing that out, and considering the fact that I haven't really been doing a whole lot of reading on the days that I work, I think I'm already trying to overextend myself, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and get into Deck of TBR, and then I will go into anything else that is on my TBR for the month that may not have gotten picked out already. Just a quick few things about Deck of TBR in case this is your first time seeing me do this. I did not create Deck of TBR at all. This was originally created by the channel Books with Maddie, I think is her channel name. I will make sure to leave that link down below because I don't think I've done that in a few months now, but she is the original creator of this whole TBR game. And then I saw it on Aurelius Maximus's channel, and beginning of this year I decided that I wanted to try that out just to kind of vary up my TBR when I'm picking out instead of just like by mood. So I am using the same concept, but I changed it to fit how I read, other than like the main portion of the board. As far as card pulls, everything, you know, is one. I pick out 6 a month, And I usually add on a book punishment if I don't finish something for the previous month or haven't gotten at least halfway through it. I decided maybe about halfway through the year. Other than that, to kind of add an extra challenge, if I pull 3 of the same number in a single game, I have to add a pull. So if I have 3 8s over my 6 pulls, I have to add an extra book or extra pull to that month. Additionally, to add an even extra challenge, if I pull the same card twice in a single game, then that's also an extra pull. There's potentially going to be more than just 6 pulls. I'm kind of hoping not, because like I said, my other reading is already going to be kind of crazy. After explaining all that, let's go ahead and get into the actual game. So now that I have rambled on and did a quick shuffle, I am finally ready for my first card. Hopefully this is pretty easy going. We'll see. But first card is, it's a 5 of clubs. We're already not starting off great. So first pull, like I said, 5 of clubs. 5 of clubs is to read a classic. When I made these prompts, I was very open to everything, but I just know that December is not the time, at least for me, to read a classic. I could go like classic for manga or anything, but I don't feel like it. So once again, if you have not seen me playing this game or anything like that, at least in the last, I think 2 or so months, I decided that if I get a prompt that I don't want to do, I'm allowed to skip it, but if I skip it, I have to add an extra pull. So I know the last time I got one of these, I was like, no, I'm not going to skip. But I can't do a classic this month. I can't. So I'm going to skip this, and instead of 6 pulls, I'm going to have 7 this month. I'm shuffling again so we can pull another again for the first prompt. But let's go ahead. Hopefully it's not another same thing. Okay, so we have a face card. Not the best, but I will take the face card. That, yeah, it won't focus. Oh, you can kind of see. I got 3. So 3 is, I don't know if you can see that. 3 is manga series. So let me figure out which box is manga. Then we're going to shuffle and figure out what I'm going to be reading. So the one that I ended up pulling out, which you probably can't even see that, but I promise there is writing on the paper, is Solo Leveling Volume 2. I have actually already read volume 2, but volume 3 finally came in the mail. So I'm going to go ahead and put in volume 3 for this. Alright, moving on to prompt number 2. The next card is 4 of Hearts. Alright, so for 4 of Hearts, the prompt was to read a book with the main character who is either a child or a teenager. I think I'm just going to put on one of the mangas from the previous month Manga Spice Cafe that I haven't gotten read yet, which is Muhiyu and Roji's Bureau of Supernatural Investigation, Volume 1. Super long title name. Sorry about that. But based on appearances, we're following... I feel like he looks like a child, but maybe he's probably a teenager, most likely. Anyway, they both look like they fit into the category of child and or teen. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this one. Moving on to prompt number 3. The next pull that I have is 9 of Clubs. The prompt for 9 of Clubs is to read a young adult book. And luckily, one of the ones that I had left from my 12 must reads of 2021 is a young adult for sure. So what I'm going to be adding to my TBR for that is Cinder by Marissa Meyer, which is the first book in the Lunar Chronicle series. Moving on to pull number 4, which is, oh, I see, we're going to be doing this month. I see. So yeah, this is my second 4 of Hearts, meaning I have to add an extra pull. So even though I didn't take punishments for this month, we're already up to 8 pulls. The prompt for 4 of Hearts is to pick a book while blindfolded. Now I think I'm going to do this slightly different because I kind of know where all of my books are, since there's not that many of them at the moment. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I do have some books that I already have on my kind of TBR that I would like to read. So what I'm actually going to do is use a random number generator to decide what I'm going to pick, since it's kind of hard for me to blindfold pick, since like I said, I know where everything pretty much is. So I have my random number generator, if it'll let me live my life, between 1 and 16. So let me go ahead and generate, and I have 12. I wasn't going to use this book at first because I thought it was a little cheaty, since I've already started the book. But thinking about it, I am only 100 pages in, and I think this book is almost 600 pages. I still have like 400 pages, which is basically a whole book. That is Mistborn: The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. All right, moving on to pull number 5, which is 5 of Spades. 5 of Spades is to read a LGBTQ plus book. I'm gonna add Things We Couldn't Say by J. Coles. Moving on to pull number 6, we have that 9 of Diamonds. So 9 of Diamonds was to read a 5-star prediction. This could end up being a really poor choice of time to read this, since I have a whole bunch more going on, but I completely forgot that this is coming out this year, and I really want to finish a series, and just wrap up this storyline. So I'm ready for whatever comes out next from these two authors, and that is Aurora's End by Amy Kaufman and Jake Kristoff. I am looking forward to reading this one, and hopefully it meets my expectations. All right, moving on to pull number 7, which is hopefully my second to last. Anyway, moving on. We have 3 of Hearts. The prompt for 3 of Hearts is the chosen one trope. One of the books from the Kate Daniels series is a possibility. I think that would count, but I'm not completely sure. I just need to recheck the definition of chosen one just to make sure that it fits with that. Okay, and then what is hopefully the final pull number 8 is 10 of Hearts. Prompt for 10 of Hearts was to read a book, if it will focus. Read a book in the series. So I definitely have several options for this, but I think what I'm going to go ahead and do, since this is part of series that I've been talking about for the past few months anyway, that is Magic Rises by Alona Andrews. This is book 6 in the series. I think I actually technically have another book before this one, so whatever book, just one of the books in the series, it really doesn't matter. As long as I read that, then I will be fine. So yeah, that's everything that I have as far as Deck of TBR to read. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I do have other books that are on my TBR, so now is the time that I'm gonna go through them, as well as like any readathons that I am planning on trying to participate in. The first thing that I am pretty sure that I want to try to participate in is 25 Days of Manga. I decided this year that my main goal for 25 Days of Manga was to read an entire series, which was Food Wars by Yuto Sakuda. So I have been reading this one for years since I first found out about it, but I haven't read it, I think, like over the past year and a half or so. When I stopped, I was at like 30, I think maybe at that like 30 mark, and there's 36 volumes, so the series has ended. I picked up the last 3 volumes this year in the series, and I was just like, I kind of want to just start over and just read the entire thing. So with the goal of 25 Days of Manga kind of being reading 25 mangas in 25 days, I figured I would try to read 36 mangas in 25 days, or maybe just over December in general, giving myself, the whole month to try to read the entire series. Other than that, I did list down a few of the other mangas that, if somehow I get through this quicker than I'm expecting, I have a few that I'm like in the middle of series and I wanted to finish series off, because I've been wanting to buy more mangas, but I don't feel like it's a smart option considering the fact that I still have so many unread mangas on my shelf. I don't like letting them pile up too much so that I'm not feeling like drowned in mangas. So I have a couple other series that I have started this year, or maybe previously before this year. I think all of these I started this year, that I just would like to finish, because I either have the entire series or the entire series is released for one in particular, and I plan on getting them all anyway. So the first of those, I think which I'm the most excited for, other than Food Wars, is Sweat and Soap. I'm pretty sure that the series is now done. If I'm not mistaken, if it's not done yet, the final volume will be coming out in December, I'm pretty sure. I bought volume 7, but I still haven't read it because I was like, I really just want a few volumes of that at a time to read. So I'm thinking that I might try to go ahead and just get the last 3 volumes that I don't have and then just binge read all 4 of them together. Other than that, I do have 3 other series. I have the entire series for that I want to just finish off. So the one that I have that's the easiest is The Golden Sheep. There were only 3 volumes of the series. I've read 1, so I just need to read the other 2. I also have Model, which is an older series that I got last Christmas. I read, I think, the first 2 volumes of that one, and it's a 7-volume series. And then the final one that I have the whole thing that I'm in the middle of at the moment is Girl Got Game, which there are 10 volumes of that, and I have finished 4. Side note, Lost in Space season 3 comes out tomorrow. I'm gonna try my best to have a little bit of restraint and wait at least until the weekend, but I know that's 10 episodes and I know myself and I've been waiting for this for years, so I'm probably gonna take a day or 2 to like just binge that. But anyway, that was everything as far as 25 days of mangas. I would like to read all of those, but like my main goal and focus is going to be Food Wars, and then if I can fit those other things in as well, that would be great. I do have a few other mangas that I wanted to mention because I have them from Manga Spice Cafe, so quickly going to talk about those. I've already talked about one of them. It's officially on my TBR for Deck of TBR for the month, but I do also have Mal Volume 1 as well as Censor by Junji Ito. These 2 plus the manga that I mentioned during Deck of TBR are all from the same month. And then earlier today I did film the unboxing for the October box finally. So I have 3 more mangas from that month's box that I need to get read, so of course I can film the review portions and post that video as well. So we have Burn the Witch Volume 1 by Tite Kubo. Then we have Grand Gubanol Orchestra Volume 1, I still don't know how to say that, by Kaori Yuki. And then the final one from the October box is Sankaria Undying Love Volume 1 by Mitsuri Hattori. I'm probably pronouncing everything wrong, but that is the final one that came in the October box. The next set of books that I wanted to talk about was the Kate Daniel series. So for most of the months I have been keeping up with this, but in November I slipped. I read 1 book and then I didn't read the novellas and then the full-length book that was like a side story. So I need to catch up with that as well as read the November stuff, or the December stuff actually. So I have Magic Tests and Magic Gifts as well as Gunmetal Magic, which was the leftover novellas, and like I said, the full-length side story from October's reading or November's reading. I have those 3 to read. And then as far as the December reading, I do have An Ill-Advised Rescue, which is another novella. And then Magic Rises, which I did already talk about this one. Magic Steals, which is a novella. And then finally we have Magic Breaks. Sorry about that white cover. So yeah, I have from this series in total, I have 3 full-length novels to read and 4 novellas. So a lot of Kate Daniels this month. Hopefully I am in the mood to get through all of that. And then the last of the list I'm gonna kind of mix together with library books and then trying to fit in whatever I can from the last of my must-read books of 2021. And then I do also have Nevernight checked out, so I will be trying to fit this in as well. And then as far as other library books, I did also check out The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This probably is not the best option for trying to fit through in December. This one is just like if I have time, then maybe. But this book is like 1,000 pages, and with everything else, I don't think this is gonna happen. I'll probably have another renew. It did just renew, but that's that for now. But I have it just in case. I just wanted to show you guys in case I do have enough time to get through it in December, which I doubt. But I do have, I think these are the last 2 books that I have. I think this is going to be along the same lines as The Way of Kings. Like, I would like to get through these before the end of the year, but I don't think it's going to happen because this is going to be like the lowest priority in terms of everything that I'm trying to read. But I do also have Morning Star by Pierce Brown, which is book 3 in the series, and then also Iron Gold, which is book 4 in the series. I have those, but like I just said, those are the lowest of low priority books for this month. I'm going to really be focusing on Deck of TBR and then the 25 Days of Manga. I'm pretty sure that was everything that I had to go through. I went through my whole list of the crazy amount of books that I'm trying to read. Don't know if it's actually going to happen. It can happen. I know that. But will it? I don't know. But yeah. Let me know down in the comments, what are you planning on reading? Are you going super hard because it's the end of the month? Or are you just taking it easy and kind of just going with the flow, reading if you feel like it, not if you don't? Curious how you typically decide to approach the end of the year when it comes to reading. Because I feel like I try to be one way and then I'm usually the other. So yeah, that is everything that I have for you guys now. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, as well as subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye.